Hi, Samantha.
Hi.
Can you hear and see everything okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good. My name is Lauren, so I'm going to be your licensed clinical social worker. Um, so today we're just kind of doing our introductions and getting comfortable. Speaking of, are you in a comfortable setting, away from everyone so you could be in privacy?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, good. I am in a private room in an empty house, so no one is here. Everything you say is confidential and stays between us. So in today's session, like I said, we're going to get to know each other, really work on our therapeutic relationship so we can start to build trust and get to know each other. So from now on, we feel a little more comfortable. And then we're going to really talk about what brought you here, explain how our sessions are going to look in the future, and then create some goals to work towards. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Perfect. So before we go any further, I sent you some paperwork about confidentiality and informed consent. Did you look over those and sign them?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's really important that you sign those and fax those back to me. So those are saying that, again, anything you say, whatever happens in these sessions, just stays between me and you. No one else can know. But if I do suspect that there's going to be harm to yourself or others, I am required to report that. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself to kind of get the ball rolling. So I started at USF, got my bachelor's and master's in social work, and then I worked in Morton Plant Hospital and All Children's Hospital, and then I started working with adults and have kept working in mental health with adults, and I love it. So tell me about yourself.
Yeah, so I live alone. I just got a new job as a cop. I really like to exercise and I have a dog. So I guess I don't really live alone, but kind of. And yeah, that's it.
Awesome. So, we're here. So why don't you tell me about what exactly has brought you here today, and then I can start thinking about how I can support you.
Okay. Yeah, so I just found you on my own. Like I said, I got a new job and it's been causing me some stress. Like I've been kind of having trouble sleeping and just been like feeling really stressed out, and worried, I guess, about work.
Okay. So I'm hearing, you're really stressed and anxious, and it's really affecting you when you're home and you're not at your job. So what is it exactly about the job that's stressing you out?
Right. I guess just like the setting that I'm working in, there's a lot of guys, mostly men that work there, and I feel like, especially as like a new employee and as a woman, I have to prove myself and like earn my spot. And I feel like no one listens to me, and just like I feel like I have to prove myself to them. And when someone, if I mess up, like I get, it's like worse than if like a guy messes up or something, like that can be overlooked. But if it's me, then everyone's like, oh, yeah, it's because, she's new and she's a woman and stuff like that.
Yeah. It definitely sounds like you're able to identify and label your feelings and what exactly stresses you, which is good. It's a good starting point for us to go forward with. So you were also saying that you live alone. So are you like new to the area, or do you have any local friends or family?
I don't have a lot of friends. I mean, I have a couple close friends. They live in the area. But just with my job schedule and their job schedules, like we don't really hang out as much as we used to.
Okay. Yeah, and that can be hard as well. So going back to what you were saying about your job, so you're saying it was causing you stress, and you feel like you have to live up to being a woman and a police officer. Do you label these feelings as trying to be the best, or just trying to prove yourself? Like, how would you label those kind of thoughts?
Yeah, I think just putting a lot of pressure on myself to not mess up and not do anything that's gonna give them a reason to look down on me. So I guess I just feel like I need to be perfect.
Yeah, and that causes a lot of stress on the self, and as you build up that self pressure, it affects your work, it affects you trying to sleep. You're exercising more to try to get rid of that pressure. But you've come to therapy. You seem like you're ready to dive into this and really work on it. So this is all really good. So we're going to be using cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, to guide these sessions. So have you heard of that before?
No, not really.
Okay, it's not uncommon. So CBT, or cognitive behavioral therapy, is a short-term structured psychotherapy where we take those negative thoughts or feelings, emotions, behaviors that sometimes we just do automatically. We don't even think about it. It just kind of pops in our head. And then we're like, yeah, that made me feel really bad. So we identify those thoughts, break down why we're having them, and then we'll get some skills and techniques to restructure our brain and just reframe how we take those thoughts. So rather than thinking, I'm not good enough, we restructure that and saying, this is really hard, but maybe if I try it this way, it'd be better. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it can be kind of vague now, but as we go through this, you'll become like your own therapist. It'll be really good. Okay. So I kind of want to go over our expectations for the treatment process in our sessions. So do you have any expectations for me?
I mean, I've never been in therapy before, so I don't really know. I guess I know that to open up, I need to feel comfortable with you, and you do seem genuine, and I think that I will be comfortable talking to you.
That's good. And you're definitely right. So in order for us to work as a therapeutic relationship, you need to be able to feel comfortable to talk to me, and I need to be able to feel comfortable to talk to you, which so far it seems like we're doing really well. And each session, again, it will build and it will get better. So some expectations I have with my clients is collaboration and participation. So when we come to session, I read my notes, you go over any homework you've had, and we come prepared and ready to engage with each other. So I'm ready to talk to you. If you're not comfortable, if you have a question or concern, you tell me, and we just go through session together rather than me talking at you and telling you what to do, because we're here for you, not me, right? Okay. So again, sometimes I'll leave you with a little homework assignment or some questions to think about during the week. So that can look like journaling and identifying those automatic thoughts and then bringing them back. Again, so you said you wanted to be comfortable with me. Is there anything that you have expectations for me as far as is there any touchy subjects that are hard for you or anything like that?
No, not really. I think as long as I'm comfortable and trust you, then I'll be able to talk about things.
Okay, that's good. So we've gone over, you're starting this new job as a police officer, and it's a male-dominated workforce. So it's kind of hard, and you're putting a lot of self-pressure about wanting to be the best you can be. And a lot of people do that. And we talked about what CBT is and how we're going to use it going forward to kind of restructure those thoughts so you feel more confident at work and relieve that stress. So now what I want to do is create like 2 goals that we want to meet by the end of all of our sessions that you would really like to see, like behaviors or emotions change by the time we're done.
Okay. Well, one thing that I want to work on, I guess, is just my feelings, I guess, towards my new job. I mean, at first I was really excited to have this job because it is like a really good job for me and what I'm looking for. But then after working there for a little bit, those feelings kind of started to go away, and now it's just kind of like not as great as it seemed before, just because of all of the anxiety around having to go into work and knowing that these people are always looking at my every move. So I guess just working on my view of work and working with all the guys there. And then another thing I think that would be good is just like to identify, I guess, when I'm putting like pressure on myself, too much pressure on myself.
Good. Those sound like great goals. Do you mind if I write them down real quick so on our next session we can revisit them?
No, go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So one thing that I want to talk about is you were saying, those thoughts and feelings about your work now and not being too excited about it. Labeling those emotions and those feelings, like you said, your goal of identifying when you are putting so much pressure on yourself is tremendous. It's hard work, but I think you're doing so good this far. We're in our first therapy session and you're able to really verbalize what's bringing you here, what's bothering you. So we're definitely making a good path going forward. So, again, so we kind of got to know each other and why you're here. I helped explain what CBT is and how we're going to use it in our future sessions. We created your 2 goals. Is there any feedback you have for me or any questions? Anything you would like me to know?
No, I mean, how long do you think I'll be in therapy?
So, each person is unique, right? So maybe person A has to have a couple more sessions than person B. Really, it depends on what you and I, as being in a therapeutic relationship, find is necessary. So maybe you won't need as long. Maybe you need 2 extra sessions. I'm thinking, in the range of about 7 to 9 sessions, and then we'll do, a wrap up and kind of terminate this therapy. But I think we can definitely get this done in a structured time limit. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that makes sense. And I know before you said, like, after learning the skills that I learned with you, like, I'll be able to do them on my own, kind of.
Exactly. I really want to get you the skills and techniques so, you are your own therapist. And, if you do need extra support or you need to come back, you always can, but that you feel confident in yourself to handle those thoughts and emotions. So next week we'll have our next session and we'll start to talk about really dive into CBT. When would you be available in your schedule?
Probably this time next week, so like 8 o'clock on Tuesday.
Okay. Then we'll do another session then, and if you have any questions or concerns that come up, you can always call me or email me, and I'll get back to you in at most 24 hours. Okay?
Okay.
All right, it was really good meeting you, Samantha. I'll see you next week, okay?
You too. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.